Sup viewers, Troller here. So, you guys know who Craft is, right? I mean, his bio description says so anyways. Also, this is just gonna be my criticism to his new video called Azure isn't overpowered. Here's why. With a thumbnail of Azure having two eye emojis staring at the "You're wrong" text. Also, you get the point. Don't make fun of anyone in the internet, especially him that I'm going to be criticizing, and I'm just criticizing how bad his takes usually are. Anyways, on to the rant!
I have seen so many people call Azure overpowered. While this video was originally going to be my first impressions on Azure's balancing, I think a guide is much more appropriate right now. Because a lot of people seem convinced Forsaken's newest killer is the strongest thing to ever grace the game. So let's put that claim to the test.
Yes, Azure is in fact considered to many as the best killer in the game currently, with his traps like Secret Bulb or Stigmatize and his very good enstrangle ability with his entire Golem form kit. He is considered as the best of the best killers in the entire game. But if you insist on making him feel like it's not the best killer in the entire game, that's what makes him not so overpowered.
At first, it might seem daunting, with how many plants he has and his giant scary Snorbler that blitzes you down, but he's got his weaknesses, and with a good team, you can handle him just fine. So before we go into how to counter his abilities, I just want to quickly go over his biggest shortcomings that you can exploit. By far, the biggest weakness Azure has is a lack of reliable aura reveals. No Error 404, no Unstable Eye, no Observant, none of that. Knowledge, or more specifically, knowledge on where someone is on the map, is one of the most powerful things you can have in an ASIM game.
This fact is obviously true. Being able to see where someone is with an aura reveal is great. As this way of indication is rather unreliable, you need for someone to activate one of your traps in order for them to be visible while an aura reveal for 4 seconds. But here's the thing. It almost doesn't matter when we are on an LMS, because it shows where the survivor already is in an LMS for a short amount of time. But if you're going against a survivalist who uses that ability, you're cooked. You're just cooked if you don't know good knowledge about the game.
His second biggest weakness is that you, the survivor, have far more control over where a chase takes place than he does.
That weakness just goes for every other killer in the entire game. And it's a big weakness to rush down killers like Slasher or Cool Kid. So what you're saying is basically not true. They're also saying that to Azure, a trapper-based killer. He has far more control over other killers like, let's say, Noli or Slasher, because he has really short trap ability cooldowns and his traps are just really useful for countering loopers. So yeah, he definitely does not have a big of an issue with how the survivor goes in the chase.
And his third biggest weakness is that his plants can't be everywhere.
Otherwise he becomes way too unbalanced? What is bro talking about? Now that his entire main weaknesses are gone, now he's going to be talking about his main kit.
First off, for abilities, that pesky sentry plant. How do we deal with it? Well, the most obvious tip is to not activate them unless it's absolutely needed.
When has it become a necessity to activate a Seeker Bulb out of Chase? That doesn't really make sense if you think about it. In Chase it definitely makes sense, but out of it? Yeah, bro, you're making no sense.
Using your abilities or running activates sentry plants. So, don't do that near a Seeker Bulb, you know? Get behind cover or make distance or whatever before doing anything that might reveal yourself.
If you're also being in chains, you can also just go out, activate a Seeker Bulb, and also get it behind cover as fast as you can. That way you don't actually get hit and get a trooper for like the millionth time. Also, I'm gonna just go over to Stigmatize now because Secret Bulb doesn't really have any good tips with it. And he basically just discussed about everything you can do with it. Other than disarming it, of course, but I'm not gonna be talking about disarming it.
Stigmatize. Okay, so that's one ability down, but there's so much more to deal with. What about his vine plants? Well, when it comes to vine plants, you can actually just do the same thing. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you have absolutely nothing else to do.
Ironically, Stigmatize is probably more impactful than Seeker Bulb because if you get caught, you can actually take a free hit from Azure. So yeah, Stigmatize is definitely meant to be disarmed as soon as possible.
The vine, while basically undodgeable if you sprint next to it, is extremely baitable if you activate it right at the edge of its range and then back up so its attack physically can't reach you.
This is also a good tip, and I already learned it from other people doing the same thing. So that's how I learned how to counter Stigmatize. And it's probably the only way you can disarm Stigmatize, because you cannot disarm it if Stigmatize is still like on cooldown and is about to grab you.
So baiting a vine right before a teammate needs to run through it essentially makes the vine useless.
Man, if only my teammates were this good at the game.
Despite being an extremely powerful X Factor, enstrangle is pretty straightforward to avoid. The best time for Azure to use enstrangle is when both of you are low on stamina, as you're at your least evasive and Azure doesn't really have much to do either. If you're ever in this situation and Azure hasn't used enstrangle in a while, always stay on guard for it. It takes a few seconds to launch, so try and find some small obstacles.
This is probably the best way to avoid enstrangle. Hiding behind a cover makes the ability practically useless. Good job.
If they miss, you've probably made a good amount of distance in the process, and they wouldn't have regained much stamina during the move to make up for it. Also, just don't run around in open areas. That's basically begging the Azure player to go for the ability.
The ability is so jukeable, bro. What are you talking about?
Finally, we have the Golem. Yes, I know, it's daunting, it can deal a lot of damage, it has tons of AoE, it can even shrug off stuns, but it can be countered.
This shows that he probably doesn't know how strong the Golem actually is. His SRAM angles the surround for so long that they're guaranteed to take an extra hit, and the Golem's M1 alone deals 26 extra damage. And unnerving also is even stronger because after he uses the ability, it leaves a trail of rubble that slows the surround down when touched, making the Golem much more threatening. Not to mention that he can teleport to where Azure was before, which can be used to finish off someone for good.
Really, just treat it like a killer teleport. Azure can switch between the Golem and himself so fast it might as well be one. If you're running from Azure and you're heading towards the Golem, you should really try to avoid it.
This is also the same pack, but wait a second. Bro, what? Golem as a killer teleport? He also said that 90% of the people use the teleport often. No, you are wrong. Not only is the Golem overpowered, like I described, teleporting is only good for Azure when you're running straight towards it. I'll just stop raging and I'll just continue.
Whatever you do, don't sprint past it, as leaving yourself on low stamina near the Golem is a death sentence. It's better to regenerate stamina by walking when near the Golem, so that in case of a quick swap, you'll be up on stamina and able to escape. 50 max stamina is a severe penalty, so exploit it by ensuring a Golem never starts a chase with you when you're below that number.
I mean, why would you ever sprint past a Golem in the first place? And of course, Golem has garbage stamina, but like I said, I feel like it doesn't really matter because the Golem's abilities are already as broken as they are now. So, yeah.
His blooming AoE isn't a big deal in a chase since it's a small radius, so just treat him like he's got a gashing wound in his pocket. Don't double back on it, and don't let him hit you to use the speed boost to get away, as he might ragdoll you instead. Also, don't forget that the AoE left behind from unearthing will slow you down if you walk through it, so don't trudge through unless it's absolutely needed.
I'm surprised he didn't call Azure a masterclass in mediocrity in his title whenever he says a killer is bad. Honestly, there are also some good facts in this video. Anyways, that pretty much wraps this video. Did I like it? No. Was it in some way helpful? Sometimes. And finally, did he learn from his mistakes? I'm not sure about that one. Anyways, I'll just show the viewers in the outro real quick and